1-star reviews.
Joker.
Leto is the best Joker. Prove me wrong in the comments.
I don't get it. Yes, Joaquin's performance is good and the cinematography is pretty, but otherwise I do not get all the hype about this movie. Not for a long time have I felt like I would be better off leaving the cinema than staying and getting my money's worth. For something that was supposed to be gritty and real, it had a lot of convenient scenes to help push the plot along. Very disappointed.
I feel like everyone is brainwashed. I thought this movie was complete and utter garbage. I don't understand why people liked this movie so much. The character doesn't even stay true to the comics and the director flat out said it didn't. And then they made it seem like it was part of Gotham's fall and he was just a little boy that had a laughing problem. Hated it.
2 hours full of bad mood. Joaquin Phoenix's unconvincing laughing and looking like a beaten dog had brutally annoyed me after 5 minutes. The world is mean and bad. And you can only be bad and hit back. Chaos, anarchy, whatever. Inspires by a clown who killed 3 bullies. More of this stupid excess of brutality in the name of what? Yes, it is the same director as in The Hangover 3. I don't want to be a partier of this. Brutal and boring.
Who's the real Joker? I don't understand the high ratings. I went to the cinema with high expectations, only to discover that the movie was slow as anything and was almost finished before the first killing happened. It was a dreadful time having to wait for something to happen. But yes, once the movie was finished and I finally walked out, I got the cosmic joke. I was the Joker, trusting the reviews and leaving disappointed in disbelief I actually paid for watching it.
Garbage hype. I have never left a review for any title. Good or bad, but this is such a piece of garbage that I registered an IMDB account just to vent my opinion. I want these 2 hours of my life back.
So overrated, overhyped. Don't waste 2 hours of your life. This movie is the baddest I've seen in a long time. Crappy writing and no good storyline, it was boring. I went to the pay counter to ask my money back for the 2 hours of torture. They can't do people like this. And for all the people with 10 out of 10, the reason why I went, you're a joke.
Just a joke, the movie. I'm keeping it short. The movie sucks, yes. I know there's a need to build character and crap. And I think it's important for any good movie, same goes with this. I get it, Joker was a troubled man. I get his frustration. But I don't need 2 hours of the movie telling me the same crap over and over again. Give the guy an Oscar for performance, but throw this movie into the trash right after.
No, just no. I'm making sure to give this movie 1 star because it's definitely not a 8.9. That's a lie. Joker is not an amazing movie. It's far from great. More to the boring side, it lacks plot twist and focus too much on character development. How many times someone needs to get punched in the face before they go crazy? He suffers. Gets fired. Has a mental illness. Nobody loves him. He's sad and he cries and he laughs again. And he kills some people. And that's it. That's the movie.
Overrated, boring, cheap, pretentious movie that makes dumb people feel smarter. People are so hyped about it because it's so pretentious that it makes them feel like enlightened ones. I haven't heard a good review of this movie from smart or intelligent people. Only those whose main movie list consists of actions and comedies call this a piece of art. A wife of a friend even called those who hadn't liked the movie lemmings, but she's the one from the countryside who dreams of expensive brands, and it actually made me laugh my ass out. Now you have an idea who this movie was made for. The plot is the main weakness. The Phoenix overplays and it feels uncomfortable to watch. The camera work feels very cheap and the overall boredom of the movie makes you start noticing all the imperfections. I would give it 5 to 6 out of 10, but there are too many pretentious dummies who gave 10 points, so I'll even out the difference. Great acting, terrible film. I was so looking forward to this film given all the hype about brilliant acting etc., but yet again what a letdown. The film had no real storyline in the past or the present, and although the acting was brilliant I had real trouble understanding the plot. If at all there was one, 1 star is for the actors.
Overrated and overhyped. Story was just really unconvincing. Nobody really cares that much about some random dude who is as ineloquent and uninspired as the Joker is. The hype portraying the movie as painful and cruel is just cringe. To see this rated better than One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest that shows way better cruelty saddens me.
Derivative and uninspired. There is doing an homage and then there is borrowing wholesale from other material. This film is little more than a remake of Taxi Driver, with elements most notably the end borrowed from Network. In the case of Taxi Driver, there are whole lines of dialogue, characters and scenes that are lifted from it and placed in this movie. Except the execution isn't as polished. The acting not of the same caliber and the story not as original. Watch Taxi Driver and Network. This film was made 40 years earlier and was made better.
Very disappointing. Film was directed and produced poorly. Opportunity to take advantage of the incredible Joaquin Phoenix was blown. Gratuitous violence. Misplaced violence. Wrong approach to Joker. Disappointing connection to viewer. Film was wandering for long periods. Tons of footage that should have hit the cutting room floor. I really wanted an stirringly creepy connection with Joaquin as Joker. It wasn't there. If you are looking for Joaquin moment like in Gladiator, you will be very disappointed.
Lose of both time and money. This was one of the worst movies I have seen. It was overacted by all actors. The story dragged on and on. I saw this movie for a bargain matinee and thought I was ripped off. The only good part was the comfy chairs and the half-priced snacks. Phoenix was so over the top and not in a good way. Phoenix stopped dancing. De Niro played another version of all the parts he has played in the past few years. 2 stars for the chair and 1 star for the snacks. -1 stars for wasting my day.
Better if didn't saw. Disturbing. Just got out of the movie. My humor was much better before seeing it. At first feel pity for the guy suffering. But he lacks charm and then well he is just a killer. Heath Ledger was far better.
Disappointing. There was nothing mentally or emotionally intriguing about this film. Outside of the amazing lead acting. This movie's only surprise was that a known antagonist was the main character. The script was lackadaisical. The events were over-dramatized and intangible. As a person who suffered from mental illness myself, this movie did not portray a mentally ill person. It exponentially exaggerated what goes on within the mind of the victim. Those who enjoy this portrayal are likely the non-victims. As for how the comic book character was written, this story did adapt the idea that the Joker knows he's a villain and enjoys it. At the end, Arthur is still just a guy going to extremes to be accepted by society. Instead, being the Joker who reshapes, exposes society to be something he thrives in.
Am I the only one who didn't like this movie? Joaquin Phoenix's acting was outstanding but the movie just sucked. The laugh got annoying and it made the Joker out to be a pussy. The ending, he kills the talk show host. Wow, that was just anticlimactic overall, just a waste of time to be honest.
Falls short of the DC character Joker. With that being said, this is not a comically accurate movie. It is a movie about a man named Arthur Fleck, who is a clown that is a depressed person who fails at life. It's modern-day Hollywood trash. With all due respect to Phoenix for trying, he is by far the worst Joker because of the fake backstory. Unfortunately, the only real positive of this story is Robert De Niro's character. What a shocker, a guy gets of his meds and kills a talk show host. I'm so shocked. Little does everyone know the real Joker falls into a pool of chemicals. At the location acts as chemicals and becomes Joker. He doesn't take pills, he doesn't kill people on subways. Hollywood's version of Joker falls short simply because of the story. Arthur Fleck thinks Thomas Wayne is his dad, and Bruce Wayne is his brother because of his Isle mom. This the best story Hollywood got seriously. In all, this is a movie about a guy portraying a clown that is having a downfall in life, nothing more. If you're a true DC fan, or a Zork.
Lame. This movie was so boring. I kept falling asleep. I felt very awkward several times. My son and I kept looking at each other like, should we just get up and leave? I probably should have. I can't believe some of the reviews on here. People have very crappy taste apparently.
Just shows you. Don't believe the reviews. If a movie speaks to your interest, go see it for yourself. This movie, however, I wouldn't recommend. It's a total bore.
Self-indulgent. No surprises here. This was just the same idea played over and over. How about that Joker ballet in the toilet? Hilariously bad.
Overrated and boring. One of the worst movies I have ever seen. Okay. Maybe not, but the hype surrounding the movie killed it for me. It's not a masterpiece but an okay film. Why the 1 star? Way too many 10s. For once I actually agree with the actual critics who graded this film.
Missed opportunity. Any motion picture that has Lawrence Schiff cinematographer plus Joaquin Phoenix built in a Gotham setting will be a success. The movie argues that Arthur was pushed into this madness as a result of unfair, unjust and downright cruel society that Gotham was. How cliché, nothing fun about that. A big part of the Joker character, for me at least, was the joy he took in the chaos he created, and this was rushed over by the director. Nothing to celebrate anywhere in the movie. The dialogue was extremely poor. Complexity of the character should have been exercised in words rather than just staring into mirrors and through the glass windows. Some intense scenes were unnecessary. Just because it's overwhelming doesn't earn it the right to be part of the story. Not a whole lot of originality. Too many scenes were copied or inspired by and from other movies, Nolan's Dark Knight, Scorsese's King of Comedy and Taxi Driver. And of course, anything that audience can't relate to is justified by, well, it's Joker. It's not supposed to make sense. Bottom line. Don't think too much of it. Not a bad movie, but everyone needs to calm down, or perhaps the bar is set so low now that, oh, and the Joker laugh, let's just say, it was also poor.